Yo, were you a homebody growing up? Or did your parents never let you go out? Did you have any emotional eating habits? Binge eating? Let's talk about it. Pew. What's up, good people? Yes, we're finishing up finally Ceres through the signs. And this is Ceres, the goddess of harvest, in the sign of Cancer, right? Ruled by the moon. So we're going to break down what Ceres is in astrology and the Cancer energy and really tell you all about this energy. So Ceres in astrology, the natal birth chart, kind of like that little question mark sickle, it is the goddess of harvest. So it does deal with food, and grains and eating and even eating issues around food. It's also fashion. It's how you were nurtured and cared for growing up as a child, and then how as an adult you would nurture and care for others, and even how you want to be nurtured and cared for. Ceres in astrology also deals with some secret sorrows, that can be wrapped around family issues, things like that, around the home, your emotions and your emotional mind. Ceres also can deal with benefits that you could experience from the family. So like your mom, grandma, the women in your family could be extremely supportive of you. And in weird, rare cases, Ceres in astrology does speak about your being lost, abducted, stolen, or kidnapped. Okay, and you may see that. I've literally seen it in the chart, I swear. I promise. But it's usually going to be in the first 4 or 5 houses. Okay, so let's start with the fashion though. Ceres, the Cancer, it can be very comfortable wear. It's stuff that makes you feel safe and secure. It could be things that are like, family heirlooms that you may wear from your hometown. Okay. Ceres and Cancer, you may very well, like wear your older brother's clothing, right? Or if you're a girl, your older sister's clothing. You can get the hand-me-downs, Ceres and Cancer, but you can also inherit like a father's watch, or inherit, this was like your grandpa's tie or a ring or a watch. Okay. Now, in terms of how you were nurtured and cared for, it was, oh, you sweet little baby. Hey, you're the cutest little baby. It's a lot of like nurturing and spoiling and hugs, and always, these kids can wind up even being a little obese because they're always eating. You want to eat something, right? Think about like the traditional like Italian mother. Oh, you need some more food, huh? Come on, Vinny, you got to eat some more, you know? Or that black grandma. Come on now, baby. Big Mama's making you some meals. You could definitely, get a lot of overeating. Now remember though, you could be nurtured and cared for by your family and even extended family in the home. A lot of love potentially in the home. But there could be some fear, right? Like making you be the homebody or not allowing you to go out, which is not good. You don't want to smother, because Ceres and Cancer, you could be smothered growing up as a child. And then you'll want to nurture and care for your kids and having a very safe, secure home, the alarm systems, the bolted locks, all the locks, but just a lot of love too. Now you have to watch out for the emotional stuff and the eating. The secret sorrows could be around the family and the home. Maybe you're the poorest kid in your neighborhood, things like that, or you just, you live in a tiny apartment and everybody around you has a big old home or something. But you can see where these people, they can deal with some overeating, right? Emotional eaters. So every time they get upset or whatever, they're eating a whole bag of chips, a whole box of cookies. So just be mindful of that. You got to be very, very careful with Ceres and Cancer with the food. Also with the fashion, they could wear a lot of white, blue, green, yellow, just a very like embracing, comforting, safe color that's warm. It's not like the red orange, more blue, green, yellow, white. Um, Ceres in Cancer, if we're dealing or looking at the situation where there could be an abduction or lost, stolen, or kidnapped, it could be from a divorce and a parent, right? The mom, the dad, the stepmom, the stepdad. There could also be like home invasions, or or being left at someone's home. Like your mom just drops you off at your grandma's house and she don't come back for you for like a couple of months. Things like that. Where a lot of people can feel abandoned or like, not accepted by their parents and have to be with an aunt, uncle, or grandparent. Um, One thing I will say about the food, Ceres, it's not just about the emotional eating. They may love a lot of seafood. You may drink a lot of water. They love crab and shrimp, and watch out for those parasites. A lot of seafood. Ooh, scallops and clams. Oh, I missed that. But they could definitely be foodies and seafoodies, but also a lot of comfort food. French fries, potatoes, right? Steak and potatoes. They may like roast beef, a lot of soups, chicken noodle soup, ma. I just want chicken noodle soup, peanut butter and jelly. Something really simple and quick, milk and cookies. Watch the dairy. But yeah, this is definitely a great energy. And, remember, this is where if it's in the first or second house, something can happen with you when you're very young. In the third house, this could be like, something happening at the elementary school or at the local Boys and Girls or YMCA. Okay. You could experience different things like that. So just be mindful. In rare cases, houses 1 through 5, you could see different issues. Even fifth house, high school, college, a boyfriend or girlfriend, abducting you or kidnapping you, or forcing you to stay somewhere against your will when you don't want to be there. Okay. But Ceres in Cancer is definitely a good placement because of the love and the nurturing and caring. Very supportive. You can have the support of your whole family, right? I'm recording as the NFL draft is ending, and it could be like your whole family was there to be at all your games, mom, dad, grandpa, the siblings, grandma, all the cousins supporting you and cheering you on in life. You can have a lot of emotional support from your family or whatever the family is to you. It doesn't have to be the direct bloodline, right? It could be an adopted family. So, but Ceres in Cancer, it's very like a warm hug and a warm blanket, okay? Very supportive, nurturing, and caring. Just watch out for the emotional eating though, okay? And you in turn, you're going to want to be very caring and supportive of your children if you have this, and of your spouse and partner. Even if you're the man, you'll probably be the cook or the chef in the family and want to nurture and care your wife and kids, okay? And, one thing I will say, this is where the secret sorrow could be maybe your mom or dad passes away early, or one of them, there's a divorce, or even, some sort of emotional breakdown, or they wind up, in prison or something, and you just emotionally are so sad because your family is not intact, it's not whole, you don't get to see them. Okay? So I hope you enjoy this. Reach out with Ceres in Cancer, and break it down in the natal birth chart reading. BigEAstrology.com. You have any questions, Eric at BigEAstrology.com. And I will be starting probably a new series soon, or get back to maybe doing some celebrity birth chart readings. Okay? So this has been Ceres through all 12 signs. And this is Ceres in Cancer in the natal birth chart. Eric Taylor, Big E Astrology. Bye, Ceres in Cancer. Adios. Home sweet home. Just give me a big old hug. Bye.